Hey, B2B leaders, feeling stuck in your growth journey as you've exhausted all your plays? Tired of doing things the same way and not seeing results? I'm Stacie Sussman, your host, and this is C-Suite Strategies, your podcast for the explosive business growth you've been chasing. We'll bring you conversations with industry visionaries who've truly mastered the art of scaling businesses. This isn't just theory, it's what we live and breathe every single day. Get ready for game-changing insights that'll transform your approach to business growth. Whether you're a seasoned C-Suite executive or an ambitious founder, we've got you covered. C-Suite Strategies is your backstage pass to reaching that next level of business. Follow C-Suite Strategies now, and let's make this your new reality.
Hey, Pod Squad. Very excited for you to be part of another episode of C-Suite Strategies. And today, we're going to talk about the thing that nobody tells you about AI, and I think why I really kept it to myself. So, I'm Stacie Sussman, founder of RevUp Advisory, and here we go with a new episode of C-Suite Strategy. My last episode was with Drew Brucker. We had him on the show. Fabulous guy that is at the intersection of AI and marketing creative. If you haven't listened to that episode, stop what you're doing now and go back to that. Because Drew broke down something I think a lot of us in B2B marketing have been dancing around and haven't really said it out loud. If you don't have a great campaign, you don't have nothing to measure, you don't have no data, you don't have no attribution, you don't have no ROI story, because a great campaign gives me measurable assets to put some data and metrics and ROI and KPIs and all those little silly acronyms behind it. And I've been sitting on that conversation since Drew and I last spoke because it connects directly to something I've been quietly doing for the past couple of years, something I've been sharing with clients, close friends, business owners, and a few founders in my network. Today, I want to talk about it out loud, and I want to talk about AI for good, not the hype, not the fear, not the AI is going to take over your job noise. I want to talk about what happens when real business people actually learn to use it, like really, really use it, and why I think it might be the most important thing you do this year in your business. Here's my honest truth. I've been deep in AI for a couple of years now. If you look at my subscriptions to Claude and ChatGPT, it dates back to summer of 24. And for a long time, I was the person in the room who knew how to use it. And frankly, nobody else did. And I'm not going to lie. Part of me liked that. It gave me a competitive edge. I kept it to myself. I did things really efficiently and fast and sat on it for some days before sending it out. And in the last 2+ years, I think something's shifted. I started watching people I cared about, smart, wickedly smart, experienced, tens and tens of years of experience, capable, C-suite, CMOs, founders, struggling with things that I already knew AI could do and fix and solve, honestly, in probably 20 minutes. They were buried in spreadsheets, spending their best hours away from their hobbies, their passion, their family, their kids, doing work that I believe should take no time at all. And I kept showing up to calls and just quietly fixing things with AI. And they'd say, wait, how did you do that so fast? And I'd say, I'll teach you. Sometimes I did, sometimes I never did. And honestly, most of the time, I just kept doing it for them. And that's not good. And that's not what it's about. I'm a done with you person. That's what we believe as a consulting firm at RevUp Advisory. We're not always the done for you person. We like to do it with you. We like to talk you through it. We like to teach you. And then one day we want to leave you and let you run it on your own. And somewhere along the way, it just wasn't, walking my own talk. So I made a decision around my spring birthday. And I'm done hoarding this. It's time to teach this. Because if I go on my LinkedIn feed and I go on my Instagram feeds, I'm sorry, I just don't TikTok. All I see is people trying to teach me AI courses, and I can't stand it because I'm not sure they're actually teaching you anything. And the reason But I think this is important because I'm an operator, I'm a seller, I'm a marketer. I run a go-to-market operations firm, and we do this all the time. And so on I think AI is for good, I don't mean that AI is here to replace your whole team BS. I don't mean AI generating mediocre BS AI slop at scale. I'm not talking about the cheap generic shortcuts that are just flat. I mean AI as an amplifier for the smart people who are already in the room and are really keenly interested in learning. Let me give you some examples, not the theoretical, not the imagine if, actually, things we built. We helped a client connect their outbound sequence and automate it into a cold campaign. Not a template, not a spray and pray email blast, a real connected, intelligent outreach system. They got 20 meetings from this dusty Excel spreadsheet. And that's not a vanity metric. That is more potential business that could be in your pipeline. For myself, and I'll say this 100 times, I want me, Stacie Sussman, to be on more podcasts. So if you know someone that has our ICP in our audience and he wants to talk to it, I built a domain, staciesussman.com. Check it out. But from an AI perspective, I've identified 77 podcasts where I'd be a strong guest fit. I've drafted pitches using AI tools that I've trained in my voice, and I built a tracking system in Notion along with a drip campaign that runs through my Gmail. It's running right now. I'm not manually researching shows because I kept thinking to myself, oh my God, Stacie, if I have to research all these shows, I'd be here forever. And I just couldn't get past that I'll be here forever line. So I'm not copying and pasting pitches. The system does most of the heavy lifting. I look at the drafts, I actually click send or schedule send. And the conversations I have are with my clients doing actual business that we have at RevUp Advisory. Real talk, Pod Squad. Everything I just shared with you in this episode, I'm teaching it live Thursday, May 29th, 2026, and it's called Claude Code for Real Business. 3 hours, a really small group, hands-on, and you'll walk away with something that you actually built. Not just watched me build it for you, but built it yourself. It's $497. It's a live cohort, and we're also going to be selling the recording afterwards. However, I highly recommend you show up in person because that's where the real AI magic happens. Head to Stacie Sussman Teaches AI, all one word, and get in before it fills up. We've also helped build something for ourselves too, for our content engine machine. We take our long form content, all the meetings that we have and sit in all day, the good stuff, the deep IP that I've been sitting on. And I built a prompt bank that chops it down into marketing assets for my Substack, for Instagram, for LinkedIn, for video clips that goes and gets disseminated across all our social channels, our own and operated website, RevUp Advisory, all from one source of content, from conversations we're actually having, anonymizing it. Not generic AI slop that sounds like us. Gets me about 60% there, and then I can go in and finesse and finagle and post a lot of the content you're seeing on LinkedIn and Instagram. This is AI for good. This is my force multiplier for human intelligence. This is not a replacement for it. This is not to make us dumber. The CMOs that we work with at RevUp Advisory, they've got 10, 20, 30 years experience. They know their industry cold better than we do. They know what good looks like, but they're stuck firefighting. They're stuck proving ROI with broken systems. They can't justify their P&L because they can't measure attribution. They're stuck doing work 3 levels below their pay grade because the infrastructure, typically in HubSpot or Salesforce, just doesn't exist to support them. And what if the same CMO could build a custom AI skill, one that thinks the way they think, knows their company strategy, knows the nuances of an industry like title insurance, that can do the pattern recognition and dot connecting. And they've been doing it in their head for decades, and now it lives in a system that runs without them. That's what we're building. And the people who learn how to do this first are going to have a measurable advantage over the people who wait. Honestly, I've watched too many companies wait on technology shifts. I've watched companies wait on CRMs, wait on marketing automations, wait on flows, wait on ABM modelings. And the ones who've waited, they've spent years playing catch up. And I don't want that for you. Okay, so here's the thing nobody talks about when it comes to AI. The tools are not the hard part. I know, crazy. It sounds wild because everyone's confused by the tools. Tool fatigue, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Claude. It's like which one, who, and in what use case do you use which one? And the interface is changing constantly. And there's always something new. And you already feel like you're behind and you haven't even started, some of you. But that's not the real challenge. The real challenge is knowing what to build, knowing how to think about your business problems in a way that AI can actually solve it. And since I own RevUp Advisory and we are a consulting firm that thinks about your go-to-market strategy, your marketing operations, your sales operations, we are operationally minded to solve the strategy of how to grow revenue for your business. We know how to talk to these systems like collaborators. We know how to use them not like a search engine, but a learnable skill. And I promise you, I've taught it to people that weren't technical in a way that I say, let's talk like we're in first grade. People who told me they were too old to learn new tools, or people who said that my brain just doesn't work that way. Stacie, can you and your team do it for me? But after a while of our client engagements, may take months, something clicks and they get past it. Because the truth is, I've been doing corporate America and entrepreneurship for over 20 years. We just hit 8 years at RevUp Advisory. And I've been told the first few are the hardest. So we now have pattern recognition, expertise, experience, domain expertise. And AI, we just need to give AI the directions of all of this accumulated knowledge that we have in our brain and written down probably on Loom videos and Google Docs, but AI likes plain text the best. So it's suddenly like having a second brain that doesn't get overwhelmed, organizes everything perfectly, doesn't forget anything. And if you know, we sometimes forget. So why am I focused on Claude and why am I not just teaching generic AI? Because I believe Claude is the best tool right now that does the work I'm describing to you. Not just the writing, not just the content. I'm talking about Claude code. I use chat and projects. I'm not really well-versed in cowork yet. I like to go hard on the hard stuff and then get back into the easier stuff. Skills that build in your business and do the real work. We use custom connections, tools we personally use at RevUp Advisory every day. Gmail, Google, Calendar, Calendly, Notion, Gamma. We're not yet ripping out our tech stack, but we might. We're just making things smarter. And one thing worth noting, I recommend a Claude paid account. I personally have the $100 a month plan thanks to my nerdy friends that pushed me to do it. If you do the math on what a junior marketing person takes, 100 times 12 months, it's really not that much money. So if you've been thinking of upgrading or you don't pay for it, stop the recording, buy it, and come back to me. So I've been building with Claude Code for my own business and for our clients, and the results are not just incremental, they're transformational. I mean, we're talking business transformation. And I'm not using that word lightly. You know me. I'm just not a hype girl in the sense that I give you fluff. I mean it. The ability to build custom skills in AI that knows your strategy, your clients, your voice, your industry, your framework, and you can execute on it without necessarily being in the room to teach it all. And that changes everything. And I want to teach you how to do it, which brings me to something I've been building behind the scenes for the past few months. On May 28th, 2026, I'm running a live workshop called Claude Code for Real Business. It's 3 hours, a teaching block in the morning, a brain reset at lunch, and then a build block in the afternoon. Small group, hands-on, real work. You walk out with a working AI skill built on your actual business, your ICP, your voice, your strategy, your positioning. everything Claude needs to produce work that actually sounds like you. And I'm so passionate about this that I bought a domain, Stacie Sussman Teaches AI, all one word, .com. Stacie Sussman Teaches AI.com. You'll find the details in our show notes. So I'm doing this beta cohort, small group. I've been working on this all Memorial Day weekend long because I want this curriculum to get as close to going live to the course as possible because it's changing so rapidly. And if you're listening to this after the fact of May 28th, 2026, hey, I see you, you're welcome. We're actually building an AI school. This is part of a much larger curriculum. And this will be Workshop 1, the foundations. So if you hear this and you're interested, check out Stacie Sussman Teaches AI.com, one word. And I've said this, and I'll say this again, but the people that wait until the last minute, the people that hear folks talking at business lunches, folks talking at the country club, folks talking at the town pool, talking about Claude Code, and all these cool things it's done to change your business. You are too late. You need to be in here building this like yesterday. But that's okay, because I'm here to help you catch up. So don't miss it and don't be that person. Thanks for listening, Pod Squad. I hope you stayed till the end because there are some really great AI business nuggets here. You never know what can happen. I always say your next big business breakthrough can be an episode away. Thank you for listening, Pod Squad, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
As we wrap up this episode of C-Suite Strategies, I want to express my sincere gratitude to you, our listeners, for tuning in and engaging with our podcast. Your commitment to business growth and operational excellence is what drives this podcast forward. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd be thrilled if you follow and subscribe to the podcast. Your help supports us to reach more ambitious business leaders just like you. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, I guess I'll see you never. This is your host, Stacie Sussman, Chief Revenue Officer at RevUp Advisory, signing off.